It's summertime in Nebraska, and corn that started as a tiny kernel is growing fast. Today, Farmer Mitch is showing us how science, technology, and sustainability come together to keep his crops healthy all season long. Summer is a busy time in the field. Corn grows faster than most any other time of the year.
Summer's really busy time for us and for corn plants. It's really important that we get all of our fertilizer and stuff done and spraying done as this time of year the corn is growing really rapidly, especially with the hot days like it is. There's times during the summer where corn's growing 2-3 inches a day, especially overnight. Corn's growing good, fields are looking good, and we're really excited about the year.
From a knee-high plant in June, corn quickly moves into one of the most important stages, pollination.
Through June, it'll grow really rapidly, and about the 4th of July, it'll kind of start to settle out on the growth. It'll still grow up, but after the 4th is when we'll start seeing the tassels coming out. Halfway down the plant, there will be what we call silk, so you can see it like when you eat sweet corn, the stuff that you kind of peel off the ear. That stuff sticks out of the plant, and then all of the pollen. There's millions of pieces of pollen on a corn plant, and they'll fall down onto the silks, and each silk that you see on the ear is a different kernel. So the more silks we have, the better the more of the pollen that falls onto the silks, the more kernels we have. So that's what really tells us kind of how the year's going to finish out, leading into harvest time.
To make sure the crop stays healthy, Mitch spends hours scouting his fields.
Each week I come out to each field of mine and I walk through and look through different parts of the field. And the first thing that I do is I look at each corn plant and try to figure out what growth stage it's in. So the easiest, or the only way you can do that is you count yearly, or you count leaves. So this corn plant in particular right here that I'm looking at, if we count the leaf, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to make sure we can see the color on the inside. So this corn plant is stage V8, and it will grow all the way up to stage V16, V18 before it starts to put out a tassel. So this corn plant, it's shorter than normal just because of the year that we've had with the rain and the cooler temperatures, but it'll really start growing here really, really soon. So the other thing we look at as the summer progresses, you can see these little specks on the ear, or on the leaf, I mean. So some of this is just how the corn plant looks, but as the summer progresses, there's certain diseases that will set on to the corn plant and kind of look like a rash like we would get on our skin. So as the season goes on, if I start seeing a lot of these pop up on the leaves, then I need to make further decisions about putting on different fungicides to help the plant stay healthy and kind of get over the sickness per se. So it's very important that we really monitor what the ears or what the leaves look like throughout the summer to make sure that the plants are staying healthy.
Water is another key factor in corn's success. On Mitch's farm, irrigation is guided by technology.
On my farm, I use a lot of water probes, soil probes, and what that tells me is it's a long probe that they stick in the ground, and it will get water readings or moisture readings from the ground, and it will tell me how much water is available for the plant to use in the ground. So corn is using about 25 hundredths of moisture a day. So that's when we really have to make sure that we're irrigating correctly. And so the soil probes that we use tell me as the corn's growing how much moisture I have and if it is time to run it past with the pivot. So it's very, very crucial that we keep an eye on that. And so those soil moisture probes really do a lot of important things for us throughout the year.
This is precision agriculture, using data from probes, drones, and pivots to make the most efficient decisions.
I do a lot of stuff from my phone, from pivot control to looking at the soil moisture probes, the data from there. a lot of my farm is integrated through my phone. So it's very important that I have working technology. So yeah, I can, as I have pivots running and they're irrigating, it tells me how much water I'm putting on the field, across the field. It tells me if the pivot's running correctly, and all the information that I need for the pivot to work. And then, yeah, all of my data for the soil probe comes through my phone. So I spend a lot of time combing through data and different things on my phone to make sure that my farm is running correctly. The different soil sensors that I have in the ground right now, each line tells me a different depth that's in the ground. So the farther ones, so the like pink is down about 4 foot, and then all the way up here into about 16 to 18 inches. This just tells me what percent of moisture I have in the ground. Right now I'm sitting at about 94%, which is really, really great for this time of year. As the season goes on, these bars will really start to dip as the corn plant is using moisture. And so I really watch how I can tell that the plant is growing good is it will start pulling moisture out of certain areas. So the more the corn plant grows down and develops roots, the more it'll start pulling out of the red, the orange, the green, and the blue all together at the same time. So as these numbers start to go down, that's how I make decisions to irrigate, is these are lower, and so I need to make sure that they're up higher so that the corn plant has enough moisture to continue to grow.
And sustainability goes well beyond irrigation. Mitch also focuses on the soil.
I take the information that I get from the drone scouting, the information that I get from walking through the field and just looking at it, the information from the soil probe, and then the information from the pivot to make decisions on how to irrigate to make sure that my crop gets to pollinating and kernel fill without any stress, without any diseases, because that's ultimately what will tell me how much grain will get off the field. So the decisions that I make starting in the spring when we're planting, all the way through pollinating and through the summer is super crucial to what we raise on each farm.
You can think of corn this time of the year as a solar panel, turning sunlight into energy.
A process called photosynthesis. The more sun we get, the higher the photosynthesis rate of the plant. And so, yeah, we as farmers, we love it when it's cooler in the summer because we get a break from the heat. But our corn plants love the sun, they love the heat. Without sun and heat, their photosynthesis system doesn't run right. And we start to see less kernels and less ears on the plants. So, yeah, the dark green color is very important, and that's all part of the process of how the corn plant develops into that wonderful ear we see at harvest time.
From rapid summer growth and pollination to irrigation and soil health, modern farming combines science, technology, and stewardship. Corn may start as a tiny seed, but by harvest, it grows into one of the most important crops in the world.
We call it a little machine. It's truly amazing. It goes from a tiny little kernel and it grows up 6, 8, 10 feet in the air and puts on a big ear that we get to harvest at harvest time. So it's a very fun plant to watch throughout the summer. And we just hope and we pray that we don't have any storms or anything bad happen through the year where we can get to see a healthy plant through the summer.
Join us in our next video as we'll be riding along with Mitch during the harvest season to see what happens when the crop leaves the field.